If you don't want to spend hours developing your streaming functionality only to make it look like it's being broadcast from the moon, then this video is for you. In order to create a live streaming app in Flutter, I have three options: Agora, ZEGOCLOUD, and Twilio. I asked AI which one is better and it gave me a technical comparison metrics. Clearly, ZEGOCLOUD is the winner in pricing and ease of use, so I'm going to go with that, although pricing is my only KPI. Let's start with the code setup first. In Android, go ahead and add Kotlin dependency in build.gradle. Now scroll up and edit the minimum SDK version from flutter.min SDK version to 21. If your project is created with Flutter 2.x, then you also need to change the compile SDK version to 33. Otherwise, you can skip this. Now go to the other build.gradle and update Kotlin version to 1.8.0. Now add the following permissions to the Android manifest file. I will also leave them in the description, so you can just copy and paste it from there. Now it's time to hook the native setup with Flutter code. Create a new project or add ZEGO UIKit live streaming package to an existing one. Since I created a new project, I'm going to go to main.dart and remove the My Homepage widget. After that, create a stateless widget called call page. Then return a safe area widget, and inside it, the ZEGO UIKit pre-built live streaming widget. Now add this widget to the home parameter of the material app. For app ID and app sign, go to the ZEGOCLOUD website and click on sign up. Then after entering your information, click on the button to start your free trial, which contains 10,000 free minutes. Then in the next screen, provide your company information so that ZEGOCLOUD can provide you with the most suitable solutions. After entering your info, click continue, and in the next screen you can see the benefits you got after signing up. Click go to dashboard. It is important to note that the free credits also have an expiry date. Now from the dashboard, create your project and then select live streaming and hit next. You can name your project whatever you want, but I will name it live_streaming. Now scroll down and under the UIKits card, you can select Flutter to get the Flutter code for integration, but we won't be doing that. Just click on start with UIKits. In the framework selection screen, select Flutter. After this, in the UI configuration screen, just scroll down and click Save and Start to integrate as everything is set up correctly. You will now get access to your app ID and app sign secrets. Copy them and paste them back to your project. After that, fill your desired user ID and username. I will keep them as they are for now. Ideally, this should be passed from your user object that gets populated from the backend. For live ID, we will assign it as a widget parameter and use it from the parent widget. In the parent widget, assign live ID as live_ID. This should also be passed from the backend. For config, we will introduce an isHost variable which will be responsible for controlling the stream settings between host and a normal viewer. So same as before, we are also going to pass this from the parent widget and add a bool in the child parameter. Now in the config parameter, if the host is true, then we will load the host configuration, otherwise the audience one. Now open up your Android emulator and run the app. You should be able to see the default UI for the host. In the app, click the magic wand icon for face beautification features. And if you click on any feature and set the slider to any value, close the menu and open it again, then you should be able to see that it also persists the settings. Clicking on the refresh button will reset the settings to default. On the top right corner, there is a camera button that you can use to switch between the front and back views. The start button will start the live stream. In the bottom left, you can see the chat menu. Then to the right is the face beautification feature. To its right is the voice changing feature where you can change voices. To its right is the icon from which we can switch camera views. You can toggle the camera from the next button and toggle the mic from the rightmost button. On the top, starting from the right, we have the close icon, the members count, the time the stream has been live, and your username and avatar. Now close the app and let's work on the iOS native setup. Inside the info.plist, add the camera and the microphone permissions. That's it. Just run the app now and you should see the live stream main screen where you will be prompted to give camera permissions. If you are using the iOS simulator, you can cancel this permission because there is no other way, and then consent to the microphone permission. Click start and then you will again be prompted for the permissions. Just hit cancel and the live stream should start. Let's make Android emulator the host and iOS simulator the audience. To do that, we just need to edit the isHost parameter being passed to the call page and pass the value based on the platform and change the user ID and username with the same logic. Now start the iOS simulator and then close it to detach the debugger. Then run it again manually from the simulator and you will see that it is able to join the live stream as audience. Now select the Android emulator and hit F5 to run the app. Once the app starts, press the start button to start the live stream, and then you will be able to see both the device users on each device. Try to send a message from one user to the other and it should also work as expected. For more control over the UI, we can play with the config settings to add or remove functionality. For example, in order to disable the preview screen for the host and go straight to the live stream screen, access the show preview for host property of the preview object object and set it to false. Now if we run the app, we will go directly to the live stream screen. I only want to have the camera view and the toggle microphone button at the bottom, and I also want to add a margin at the bottom. We can do that by accessing the bottom menu bar property and assigning show in room message button to false, host buttons to a list of switch camera button and toggle microphone button, and then setting the margin 56 pixels from the bottom, which is the same as K toolbar height. Now run the app and you should be able to see that the app has changed for the host but remains the same for the audience. If you want to do further UI customizations, then you can read the full list of features here. It's nice as it has sample code and UI preview as well. If you want even more control over your UI, you can build the UI yourself and integrate ZEGOCLOUD's live streaming SDK to support all the live streaming functionalities. I might do a tutorial for that later, but till then, I hope I brought some value to your coding lives, and if I did, make sure to like and subscribe. That's it for today, and I'll see you in the next one.